So we've gone ahead and we've made this customized cap for our customer, and we thought, why not do something that presents a little bit better? So we're going to have it in this brown paper bag here. Now of course we need to brand it, and my favorite way to do so is the DTF printer and the heat press from AM.CO.za. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're here at our program, and I've gone ahead and I've selected this logo to print. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and add our variable underbase. So we're going to go ahead to effects, we're going to go underbase, and we're going to say variable underbase. So now what's going to happen here is we need to move over to the right hand side of the screen, and we need to make sure that it's at 300 dpr, and I'm also choosing a 0.02 spacing inwards around the edge so that the white is not bleeding over the side of the artwork. And then once you're ready, you go ahead and push the tick to say yes, and then you should have this red line that appears around your object where the white ink is going to be printed, because we want it only under the artwork that we're printing. From there we can go ahead to our rip and print, and I am wanting to fill up the space, so we've got 5 in quantity that I want to do, and if that's fine, make sure you've selected your profile as well, and then you can say send. Now that's going to be sent to your print manager, so we're just going to go ahead and scroll down until we can see our newest one here. We're going to go ahead and double click on it because we want to make sure that it's got 5 and that all the colors are also correct. So now that we've got 5 there, we're going to go ahead to this panel here, output, and we just want to preview to see if the coloring is correct. So we untick all our blocks here, and we're going to go spot color first, which is the white, then we've got black, then yellow, then magenta and cyan, and that should give you a full color image. So now all we do is make sure we go back to the beginning, make sure that we've got 5 again. You can go and change it to 4 if you want over here, but again I want 5. So now we can say okay. Now you should see your picture appear with 5 here at the bottom, and that's when you know that you've done this correctly. So now what we can do is right click and we can say save as, and then I've also got my file ready where it's being saved, so we can go save it bespoke, and we're going to call this number 1, and we push save. Now that's going to process, rip, and then once it's finished ripping, it's going to save, and then when you see they're done, now we're going to go over to our other program, Print XP. We're going to go to our file option here, and we should look for the word bespoke. It's in alphabetical order, so there, bespoke number 1. We're going to double click on that to load it into our print job list, and once we're here, this is where you're going to choose whether or not you want extra white or extra color, and by doing so you just double click and change the setting over here, white extra or color extra. That's up to you depending on what you're heat pressing to. Because this is a brown paper bag and we've got no color that's darker than the colors that we're printing, then we're going to choose no extra white or color because we're on a neutral background. If you're heat pressing to a black bag or a dark brown bag, my recommendation is add extra white because you don't want the color of the bag shining through the print. So once you've done that, you just say okay. And once your printer is ready and you've done your clean and done nozzle test, made sure that it's printing really good, you can then go right click and push print and restart printing. So now that it's finished printing, we're going to go ahead and cut off this printed piece. We now need to put it through our oven with our powder shaker and get that glue now adhered to the print. From there, all we need to do is take it to our heat press, line up where we want to print it, and then heat press it. I'm going to go ahead and use the normal DTF pressing settings, which is 155 degrees Celsius at 7 seconds. So we've gone ahead and we've heat pressed it once, and I really think that we can do a second press. So that means that once this is cooled down, we're going to peel the backing off and I'm going to heat press it again. However, if this is a woven bag where you can only heat press it once, then I would suggest using 15 seconds, heat press it once only, so that it has longer time for the glue to adhere before you peel the backing off. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've finished our second press here, and it's really stuck on. I can see the glue is nice and spread out. That's not coming off at all, and the colors are absolutely fantastic. The only thing we need now is, where's the cap? So we've got our cap here. We're going to throw it in this awesome bag that we've made. And there we have it. Well, there you go, guys. What an awesome bag, whether it be a takeaway bag or a bag for an item that you're making for a customer. Now, here's my takeaway from this whole thing. I've had this DTF printer and oven set for more than 2 years, and I've not replaced a single working part on it, especially a capping station or the cap itself, a printhead or a dampener in those 2+ years. Now for me, if you're going to be starting off as a brand new business and this is your first machine to buy, that is something really awesome. Especially if you look after the machine, that means you're not going to throw away money and you're going to start making money. And that's something that we all want to do. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video.
At AM.CO.za, we sell machines, we fix machines, we teach machines, and we feed everyone in the process. Just for you.